It's May 6th, and I had a great weekend at Franklin with Scooter and his family. Marty, my first cousin Marty, and his wife Beverly are awesome hosts, and I had a wonderful time. Competitively, I did okay, got some places in just about everything but the hot saw. And Springboard is still an absolute bitch, so I got to work on that. My wife has forbidden me to cut another one in a competition unless I chop less like a T-Rex. So today I'm going to run through the events. I'm working from farm. I've already taken a Zoom deposition. Well, the Zoom deposition we sat in it for half an hour until the witness not show up, so didn't actually take it. And then I've been working for the past 6 hours, and so I'm going to chop for a couple hours now, and then when my nephew around 5 o'clock before dinner time, I'll load the truck up with blocks for the wood chopping festival. Load all the small logs in the back of the pickup, and then attach the dump trailer and put all the bigger blocks in the back in the dump trailer. Hopefully I will only have to make 2 trips to Webster. Tomorrow I have meetings in Webster Springs, and so going to drop the wood off at the curve and then go to the meetings. And then come home after that. So pretty busy this week. Devil's Backbone is this weekend. I'm hoping I'll do better than I did last weekend. Like I said, single was fair. Standing block was pretty good. Underhand, I got a lot to work on there. Springboard, a lot to work on, and hot saw, even more to work on. So it's all about the learning curve with this old fella. So that's the reason why I put so much effort into regaining whatever it is I may have lost, or trying to maintain what I still have. I warm up with single buck because it's my favorite. It just gets my blood flowing. Let's throw caution to the wind a little bit, pick up some speed. I noticed it. So Grant Foreman let me use his saw this past weekend, and it was cutting amazing, and I was afraid of hanging it. So I purposely went slow, and I did 12 strokes in 11 seconds. And normally when I do 12 strokes, that'd have been 9 seconds. And I don't know if I could have stroked that saw with the same number of strokes and that speed. But it's my technique, and I've got to go with what works for me. And so, yeah, throw caution. That's going to go. Pin my ears back. I got one freaking gear. I'll go faster, and it's a half less stroke. I like to tell people that I'm a tempo competitor, and I don't do my best unless I'm going balls to the walls. I try to slow down, things mess up. I've never been a good hard hitter because of that. Balls to the walls again. Okay, Springboard for me has been very emotional since I blew my knee out setting the pole up last summer. And so I've avoided it since then. And my performances at Camp Creek and Franklin reflect that. So my wife has forbidden me to be a bitch no more, or not stop being I can't T-Rex chop anymore. So I'm going to put a good board hole in on top and get back on the board and actually put some oomph behind it. Okay, here we go. Let's have some fun. I need to learn to enjoy this again. And it's just, for me, it's about comfort. And, the pole outside that I have is very rickety, but it's different when you're cutting the pockets. I need to get used to cutting on the first board again, making pockets. That's an art form into itself. So, yeah, there we go. We'll do that one over. Shit. So what happened there is, as I was jumping, however much I jump, the board popped and I thought it fell out. And it scared me. That's me being the bitch. So I'm gonna climb on these same pockets as they are and see what happens. I just need to freaking lose this bitch attitude. I'm getting sick of this shit. That's more like it. I'm still fearful. However, you got to learn something from every time that you practice, every time you cut. And here's what I learned on that cut. So I want to share this. So ideally, the corner of your pocket should be the corner of your top pocket. Otherwise, you get around the tree too far. I needed to keep this closer to me right here so that I could keep this pocket where I could see into it and be close to it. You want the boards to almost be on this plane. In other words, the far corner of the bottom board matches with the near corner of the top board. So that way you're not too far around the tree. It's optimal for making the pockets. My distance between my boards is 36 inches. When I was able to jump, it was 40. And that way I can make that bottom pocket and I could jump on the board real quick and then go from there. This was that first run. It would actually have been a good cut. Just that this stuff is doughy and rotten. Train on whatever I can. So, probably should put some fresher stuff up. But I'm going to run through all the dead stuff before I get to the good stuff. This is a 13-inch pine, 40 inches. Not quite 13, but close enough. I'm using one of my old Langdons. It's probably seen better days, but it still cuts pretty good. And so I'm going to try 2 up on this and see what happens, get my arms extended. I like the way I'm cutting my blocks right now. So I think this will probably be a good one. I'm going to go 11 in the front. Hopefully I don't stick that first hit. And then we'll see what happens in the back. Should have it. 21 hits on a 40-inch log. It's not bad. I mean, it was a decent piece of wood. I'm very pleased with that, actually. So, hell, Here's the thing. I probably could have tried and drove it off a round earlier, but I'm still not overly confident because I'm just not as strong as I used to be. So I'm going to set up another one and try and see if I can do that. But I'm going to make board holes in this before I move on to the single. 42-inch pine, again, using one of my old Langdons. This is one of the smaller ones. I think it's 7¼ by 7¼ It's just going to take 3 drivers because it's bigger than a 13, but not quite a 14. Yeah, cutting this underhand this past weekend, I'm caught between styles. I have spent so long over the course of the past 3 or 4 years since I don't feel as strong as I used to. Slowing down and being more deliberate, hitting the log properly. And much like that freaking single, why don't I just go freaking balls to the walls? It's bad. I'm going to try. What can it hurt? I'm going to make one down cut in the hot saw because both races that I've done this year, my first freaking cookie has been this damn thick. Now, luckily at Camp Creek, I was able to take my time and make it up, cutting a down cut. I think I ended up 4th or 5th place, but it was a slow cut, 6.3 on 16-inch wood, which that's not competitive. Winning time with the good guys, that's like 4.4, 4.5. And then to place, you got to be under 5.1 at big shows. So under 5.2. So, yeah. And anyway, I've been running a practice chain. So Sully's put me together a good chain for this weekend at Devil's Backbone. So I want to make sure I get this first cookie right. So I'm going to make some practice. Just one cut. So I'm going to make. Now I'm going to go up the rickety pole. So, yeah. I'm using a hardwood axe, a little dry 10-inch pine. So, and this is again just to get swings and to become comfortable up there. And I'll come back out again Thursday. I think I'll just cut a tree and I don't know. I think if I just let things go in the underhand, I'll be fine. But anyway. Another 40-inch log. This is clean. I'm going to test an axe. So see how she goes. log was freaking hard, and the axe was real grabby. The axe did not suit that wood at all. So that is what it is. So yeah, last cut in a single for today, then another hand, then one cut in a hot saw, and I'm going to call it for as far as this stuff concerned. And I got to load up all the wood. Hopefully my nephew and my nephew and my great nephew will come and help me load it. 41 inches and it's dry. And so I'm using another one of my old Langdons. Is a different one, smaller. It's 7 1/4 by 7 1/4. Used to be one of my old Sydney axes. I think Mike Ashley ground it, and then it's just been set in a box. Christy used it once or twice, and yeah, it's got one of the old handles in it. Holy crap, that little log was hard as a bull's forehead. Whew. Yeehaw.